Men are blaming women for their inability to trust women. They are blaming women for their shortcomings and their wayward, irresponsible lifestyle. Men are the most powerful yet neediest creatures on earth. From infancy, they learn that only the strong survive, that they must hide every weakness behind the facade of ambition, power, and domination.
When a man opens up, when he really opens up, don't you use what he said when he was open to prove a point when you want to win an argument. You will never hear the full story from us ever again. And we'll start to say stuff like this. How are you? Good. I ain't good, but I just ain't telling you. Women, let me tell you something. Men are not emotionless. We have deep emotions. We just don't know how to express them. And let me tell you, if you make us feel unsafe, you'll never hear from us again. If I tell you something in a moment of vulnerability and you use it against me in an argument, you can forget me talking to you forever. And you keep talking about he quiet, he's shut down, he's in his man cave, he won't open up, because when he did open up, you shut the door on him.
How then does he open himself to the love, trust, and sexual satisfaction he needs when he can show no weakness, when he cannot take the chance of revealing his true self? This is the course of being a man, and perversely the dichotomy women find irresistibly fascinating. The satisfaction women receive from being taken into a man's confidence is akin to a thrill of befriending a wild animal.
I don't believe a woman at all. You know how you know if a woman is lying? If she moving her mouth. I don't believe not one woman since Eve. I done read the Bible back to back 7 times. Know every book of the Bible. 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles. As women have been lying since the beginning of time, and every lesson and before us is teaching us to do not believe a word that is coming out of their mouth. It's in their nature to be rebellious. It's in their nature to lie to you. It's in their nature to do the thing that's best for them, to be hypergamous, meaning that they have to go for the best available option because they understand that they can't do it for themselves. I don't believe any woman. The reason that they come out with these slogans, believe all women, is because women aren't believable. If that was the natural order of things and we've been in existence since the beginning of time, why do you have to train me for something that I'm already aware of? If you were a truth teller, if it was inherently in you, you wouldn't have to sell me on why it is that I should believe you.
The problem is, men are not wild animals. They think and reason just like human beings. Unfortunately, history has shown that when men give women the trust they seek, women are more likely than not to abuse it. Witness prototypical stories like Adam and Eve, Samson, and Delilah. The lesson men take from all this is that they just can't trust women.
Listen, bro, as a man, if you got a problem, bro, and you got a girlfriend, do not go venting to your girlfriend. If you need to vent, go either talk to your homies, your father, your grandpa. If you ain't got none of that, suck it up and keep it to your fucking self. But the last thing you do, and you should never do it, is trying to vent to your girlfriend about your problems, bro. Do not do it. Trust me, from experience, bro, it's the worst decision I've ever done in my life, and I would never do it again. With future girlfriends or current girlfriends, any of that, I'm never doing it. They gonna either look at you different, lose respect for you, or just tell everybody your business. Do not do it. Yeah, the last thing you do is tell your girlfriend your problems, bro. She gonna tell you, oh, well, we've been together this long, you can't tell me your problem, and da-da. Do not let her manipulate you into telling her your problem, bro. She does not care. She gonna tell you she do not care. And this right here is it's not even hurt talk, bro. Like, this is not hurt talk. This is real talk. Go ahead and try it though, bro. Don't listen to me. Go ahead and go try to vent to your girlfriend, bro. See where you be in 6 months. See if y'all even gonna be together. She gonna look at you as a weakling, bro. A little old puppy. A weak baby. I promise you.
I feel like shorties don't really understand that. They be like, be vulnerable, open up to me. But they don't understand. They're not men. So I'm pretty sure y'all have made that mistake in the past. I definitely have. And every time I opened up to a woman, the dried up. She just don't want to fuck with me no more. Yeah. The energy just changed. They act like they support it, but when you open up to them, they look at you like less of a man. That's my experience.
Another thing,
they say men are big babies. They can be seen as a dog that needs to be tamed and trained. Women are expected to put a leash on men and train men. What do you think about that? Think of your man as your dog. If you simply bring your dog home and let it run free with no thought of training or discipline, it will happily decorate your home and belongings with its poop and puddles, unaware it is doing anything wrong. Like a man, it will hump anything in sight without the slightest care, run away at its every whim, and shack up with anyone who takes it in, which nary a hint of remorse.
I do think when men view a woman as the one is because there's a level of security there as well for him. In the fact that she's just not gonna up and leave me, she's not gonna kick me when I'm down, I can open up to her and she's not gonna throw it back in my face. These types of things that make him feel safe in her presence and safe with her makes him feel like this is the woman. This is the woman I want to be with, and this is the woman who's truly for me.
This is how a woman should always treat a man. When he gets home, he should be catered to. There should be food ready to go and on the table. The last thing a man wants is to come home and argue with the one person that should be bringing peace to his mind and to his environment. You should be that one person that he looks forward to seeing because you are going to bring him that happiness no matter what has happened throughout his day. You should offer to take off his shoes, to take off his socks. This is how a man should be treated 24/7, because as a man, we go through so much throughout the day. So if you have a man at home, it is essential that you go ahead and treat your man this way if you want to go ahead and continue having a healthy relationship. Make sure you go ahead and follow the page for more tips on how to treat a man.
Smith and Dewey emphasized that you must not underestimate the power of an intelligent, well-executed training program in dealing with your man. In carrying out this program, you must carefully balance fear of punishment against expectations of reward. To put it bluntly, you must put the fear of God into him if you want to keep him from running amok. Many men have actually remained faithful and behaved in a civilized manner solely because of the fear instilled in them by their loving mate.
I think without them realizing, I think the real thing that they find attractive in women is a woman who is incredibly nurturing. I think no matter how self-sufficient and how masculine a man is, but when a woman takes care or predicts his needs before he says it, he can't help but melt. So if she knows he might be hungry and there's something ready, if she knows that he might be tired, there's a coffee ready, if she knows that he's got work in the morning, he's going to be in a rush, there's a shirt ironed, these kind of nurturing acts makes a man feel loved. And I don't think they realize it because they're so conditioned to not expect that from women anymore and see that as oppressive and see that as toxic. They're just like, oh no, I don't even expect that. But when they receive it, they act like babies, like just received an opened present. They're like, oh, coffee for me? Like, you know, like you did that for me? And it's like, oh yeah. And I think they don't realize that that is actually their universal love language.
Hello fam, how you all doing? How is your week going? Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thank you. This video is about men blaming women for their lack of trust in women and expecting women to be their mothers. They expect women to cater to all their needs, tame them, train them before they will behave and act responsibly.
The other day I was talking with a friend about how men in their like late 30s and even 40s will date a woman for like 1 to 2 months and then break up with them and tell them, well, I just wasn't ready for a relationship. And my friend was like, how are these men not ready for a relationship? They're single and in their 30s and 40s. And it dawned on me that these men are not ready for a partnership. As women are standing up and requesting more from men in relationships, what these men are actually saying is that I am ready for a relationship. I'm ready for a relationship with traditional values where a woman takes care of me. You weren't taking care of me. You want a partnership. I'm not willing to show up and meet you halfway. These men are ready for relationships. They're not ready for partnerships because they don't want to do the work to meet someone halfway, and they want a woman who's just going to cater to them like their moms.
Most men don't want a feminine wife, they just want a woman to mother them. It's a harsh truth that a lot of men don't want to admit. They don't want to say that they just want a woman to take care of them and nothing else. They're not bothered about putting in the work to become more masculine, nor do they want to understand what masculinity actually is. Going to the gym, having a big bank account, and these traditional, more dominant and alpha male principles are not the definition of masculinity. They won't want to display things like compassion, empathy. They don't want to understand emotional intelligence. They just want a woman to do what she's told and to look after them when they need it. This is why marriages fail. This is why men get so frustrated with their wives and they end up doing fuck all in the relationship and leave everything for their wife to pick up, because they don't actually want to deal with a feminine woman, because it comes with emotion, it comes with some form of free-flowing chaotic energy. It comes from the need for them to put in a lot of time and effort to create an environment where she can thrive, and they can't be asked to do that. Most men want to go to work, earn some money, come home, crack open a beer and watch the TV. And that is the reality that we live in. And unfortunately, for women in this capacity, where they desire to have a man to create an environment at home for them to thrive, they're stuck in a rut and it's not going to change.
Men like having women around for a couple core reasons. One is they want somebody to mother them. We've talked about this before. Like, they literally just want a mom to pick up their shit, make their food, right? It's not cool, but that's what they want. They're immature emotionally and they're trying to, you know what I'm saying? Secondly, Audre Lorde said this. I just listened to it recently. Men want women to be an emotional conduit. Men want women so that they can use the woman to feel for them, because they don't know how to feel. They don't know how to do emotion. So having a woman around, they have an emotional conduit with which to feel through, which is usage, which is manipulation. It's not great. But it really stuck with me. There's all these men who don't want to be friends with women. They just want a spouse or a significant other to mother them, to be their emotional conduit. Men don't actually like women. They just want to use them. That's why in all their free time, they'll never be friends with a female platonically, and they'll only hang out with guys. And that shit's not cool, man. It's not cool to use people.
The interesting thing is that men are actually not denying that. So men are wondering why women will be saying, oh, you want me to be like your mother, you want me to be your mommy. And to them they're asking a question, who wouldn't want a woman to be like their mother? And I think they're not really understanding what women are saying.
You know what's hilarious to me? When I hear women say, these men out here just looking for somebody to be their mother. Okay, what's so wrong with that? When I think about my mother, she was nurturing, caring, loving. She took care of me when I was sick. She encouraged me. She supported me. What's wrong with that? That's exactly what I'm looking for in a wife. But what's so funny is, what do you want from a man? You want him to provide? You want him to protect you from harm? You want him to pay all the bills? You want him to fix your car? You want him to fix stuff around the house? You want him to support your dreams? You want him to take care of you in every which way possible. So wouldn't that be like your father? I'm just saying, it all sounds the same to me. I guess I'm just trying to understand, what should I be looking for in a woman if I'm not getting all that? I'm just asking questions.
I have this notion in my head, and it really drives me mad when women say to men, you want to get a woman that's like a mother to you. And I think, you know how stupid you are when you say that?
Obviously.
Like, why would a man not want to, if a man thinks of his mum as the pinnacle of the successful woman, like the best woman in the world, he's going to look for that in other women, no? Yes. Just like if you've got a dad and your dad's a superhero to you, your dad's Superman, he can do anything. You're going to look for a man that's similar to your father. So I don't understand why women say this silly statement of, oh yeah, well, I'm not your mum. I'm not your mum. I'm not your mum. That is the most dumbest thing. For me to even rate you on that level, to say that you got characters of my mum. Do you know how high man rates you? If any man says that to you, women, he fully rates.
Some men out there are looking for women that would cater for them like their mom. They want to be babied. They act like kids. They don't want to take responsibility or even be accountable for anything. With men, it is an unending loop. They are not talking about women training and taming men. Women have to be the ones to always fix their problem. How does that even sound to them? This is from the book What Men Don't Want Women to Know. This does not apply to good men, but those men that are already troublesome, those men that have their head filled with toxicity from the patriarchy system. So these are the 7 principles they put out there. Never divulge a secret he shares with you. Never contradict or embarrass him in front of other people. Never use things he tells you against him. Always indulge his sexual requests. Just imagine. Don't be a doormat. Alternate tender compassion with tough love. You can just pause it and read for yourself. Personally, I think wanting to practice all this, it's more stressful than dating a regular toxic man. All I see is a repackaged strategy for men to always have women at their service and center them. A lot of men wish for women to center them. They wish for women to make them their number one, for women to prioritize them. They want the woman to breathe live, eat, sleep them. Everything about the woman should be about them. Some men will intentionally act in a certain way just to get a reaction from their woman because they enjoy it. If they are telling you that you have to train and tame a man, what does that mean? It means that you have to make your whole life all about the man. You have to think about the man wherever you are. What is he up to? Is he misbehaving? Is he behaving? Is he acting right? What is the next step? Please don't do that. That's a whole lot of work. You will definitely lose yourself in the process. Why would you make your life all about a man? Don't you have other things to do? That is exactly where they want women to be, making our lives all about them, acting like their mothers. You know, if you have kids, you're always worried. Oh, what are my kids up to? Are they okay? Are they good? Are they joining bad friends and all that? That's exactly what they want women to do. Make men the air we breathe. Please don't do that.
Is there any realm of possibility where you'd let me go to Colombia, Costa Rica, or the Dominican Republic with just me and my friends?
Just go. Have you noticed that I don't care anymore?
I actually have noticed that, and it's pissing me off. Why doesn't she care anymore?
That's why you're trying to get a rise out of me.
Yeah, you don't care at all anymore.
I know, it's kind of boring, right?
I know. I used to like hide my phone. Now she comes over and it's just like girls' asses clapping on Instagram. And she's like, girl power, love it. That's what she'll say to me. She'll be like, well, you want something to eat, honey? She just doesn't care. So are you having an affair? That's the question.
No, I don't want to be bothered.
You're at that point of the relationship where you just don't even care at all either way.
No.
Indifference.
Don't care.
That's good.
But I love you.
I love you too.
If I were a girl for one day, a girl who is trying to go through her healing journey, this is the first area I would focus on my healing. And that is to learn how to decenter men in my life. And not only that, to learn how to stay away from other girls who are so male-centered. A girl who is male-centered is the kind of girl whose entire worldview revolves around men. The opinions that she has are usually formed by, how would a man see this? Will he think that I am marriage worthy if I think like this? Will he think I'm a good girl if I dress like this, if I get this nose piercing? Now, there are men who are female-centered like that. But the reason why I'm saying that this is something I'll focus on if I were a girl is because every single girl, especially if you grew up in Africa or Nigeria specifically, this is something you struggle with by default. The way you walk, the way you sit down, the way you think. Every single adult around you from age 2 is there to make you center men in your life. So now you're 23 years old, 27 years old, 33 years old, and you're serious about healing and discovering yourself. No, hating men is not the way to go about it. Decentering men is the first place I'll start if I were a girl.
This woman asks, can you talk about why a man might have trust issues even though the woman has done nothing to betray the trust? So ladies, can you relate to this woman? Does your former partner or current partner, spouse, or perhaps you're concerned about your future partner having trust issues? Then listen up. The most critical part of all of this is when she says a man, her man, having trust issues, even though she hasn't done anything to invoke those trust issues. Here's the most important thing I will say in this response. They are his issues and his alone. So regardless of if there has been betrayal issues, trust issues, or it's absolutely the most pristine, trusting relationship, what that man has experienced in his past will dramatically affect how he trusts women in the future and will always affect his future relationships. Unless, know what I'm going to say? He begins to get serious and recognize and validate his past wounds and his trauma. His trauma that includes both his feminine and his masculine wounding from mom and dad or other family members and has gone an entire lifetime unprocessed and unreleased. And just like all of us who have trauma, that's right, again, we all have trauma, ladies and gentlemen. And the root cause behind distrust is a lack of consistency, not perfection. Did you hear what I just said? Friends, establishing trust in a relationship has nothing to do with getting it right all the time. We're all gonna make mistakes. All of us. But building trust in a relationship is all about the day in, the day out, the consistency, and the confidence that's built in that consistency. So if your man has trust issues, it's because He has inconsistency wounding. An important figure in his past, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, mentor, teacher, coach, said one thing and did another, and perhaps over and over and over again. And that lack of consistency forms a confirming experience of distrust for the rest of his days, unless he begins to create for himself and those around him create disconfirming experiences that build a new line of trust. And so, ladies, this is what you can do, and the only thing you can do. Be consistent with your man. Remember, doing the right thing in a relationship doesn't necessitate a slot machine mentality. Just because you do the right thing doesn't mean it's going to work, because again, it's their wounding to heal. And how they respond to your right thing is completely up to them. If you want to know more about navigating trust issues in relationships, drop a comment below and keep following for more.
Don't agree with what the authors of the book, What Men Don't Want Women to Know, said. Women should train men, tame men. I'm not in support of that. Why should a woman make her life all about a man? Doesn't she have other things to do? If you find a good man that is not part of a toxic societal conditioning, that man would be responsible and not expect you to train or tame him. Those authors are indirectly encouraging women to center men and always be at their service. And this is exactly what women are avoiding. Like I said, it's just a repackaged strategy, because if you're focusing on fixing the man, that is you centering the man. If you're focusing on training the man, that is you centering the man. And if you want the man to be happy, if you want to have a happy relationship according to them, that will be you being at the man's beck and call. That will be you being at the man's service. And this is what men have always wanted. Seeing women as slaves, they bought slaves to be at your service. This book is in a way working on women's mind. I commend them for talking about other things that women didn't really have 100% understanding on. But you see this conclusion, telling women to tame men, and no, that doesn't make sense. But you can do that if you have the power to. But I don't think that should be the focus. Men should grow up, not waiting for women to do things for them. And like I said, they have good men out there that are not part of this toxic program. So the focus should be finding a good man while you work on yourself and live your best life. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you'd love to watch a video on men's double standard and their set of rules for women, click this video here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.